Welcome everyone to a very special video. Out of nowhere, Planet Zoo has published their behind the scenes footage. This is actually what we've seen as the behind the scenes footage a couple weeks ago from their main zoo to show off Planet Zoo 2. We finally have the footage in hand. It's full 4K footage over here. Unfortunately, I only have a 2K monitor, so you have to see that scrapped down a little. Nevertheless, it is pretty damn good to see a couple of things. There is no new animal in here that we haven't seen so far. In fact, we've already seen more than what is in here, but we can see a lot of more normal behavior movements and more than just a couple of seconds. I will try to keep it as short as possible in here, and I will highly recommend to jump over also to the official Planet Zoo channel to check out the full footage, the full stream. I assume they will upload this in full 4K quality once the live premiere has gone past, which should be about now already done at the time this is being uploaded. So let's get into it. This is the zoo we've seen, and we're going to skip forward a little. You can see there's a lot of show off at the beginning of how the area looks, and to be honest, if there's one thing I'm not too the paths will be great. Don't worry, I've seen this also on the studio. It's the path system from Planco 2 with some actual improvements. However, it is in here they didn't do the best job. I should put it that way, to show it off as best as they could. They still used it in the kind of old-fashioned way. We can see a lot of the new scale of the game is something that I want to emphasize on. They do talk quite a lot about that in the video too. They have bigger maps. It's all a bit more huge. You can work a lot more with verticality. You can see how water and nature and stuff interacts. You can see the incredible nature objects, and especially as someone playing Planet Coaster 2 so much, that just kind of hurts my heart, because this is one area we lag behind quite a bit. I would love to just give me 10% of the foliage in Planet Zoo. You can also see some of the new dynamic rocks over here, for those of you who have no idea what that means. Ever since Planet Zoo 1, they also have this now in all of their other games as well. It's a dynamic moss kind of texture. Depending on the angle the stone is, there will be always moss on relatively realistic angles to the stone. You can see these seems to be quite improved, so it's not only the top anymore. And in here it's a bit more clearer. You can see there's a bit more moss on top, while the steeper it goes, there's lesser moss visible on the side, how it would be in real life. So that is pretty interesting. But we go forward a little bit more, because they do talk about a couple of things, and one of the things is that we do receive the Planco 2 people, which is very good, because they are massively improved. Even though at the first glance it doesn't look like it's massively improved, what they don't talk about, but what is very visible is, and you can see that over here, some of the keepers and staff members are going to use now the in-game benches to have some rest, which is very good, because that means they don't need to walk so much to at least get a bit of a rest boost, which is really cool. You can see that guy over here, or girl with a little hat over there. Very like that. It's super cool. And if we go on a little bit into the future of the video, you can see there we have our saltwater crocodile, and we get a new look at some of the, and this is a pretty interesting little tool over here. They don't really talk about that, but I want to quickly, just there you can see, this looks like a filtration system that seems to be now placed in the water or by the water. I'm also wondering if this may also be a system to put salt in, if we have salt water or fresh water, if there's a difference in the pumps or saltination you need to do. But that is something I have no idea of. But here you can see the crocodile a bit more in action. And funnily enough, you can already tell this is exactly that little bit of footage we already got as a B-roll, where the croc is swimming through that habitat over here. I'm just going to skip forward, because more impressive than that is our chimpanzees, and I'm going to leave that running for a moment, because here you can see a lot of the new behaviors that they can do on the different things. You've seen that jump down there. I'll get to that in a second, but you can also see how the chimpanzee is now resting and actually actively sleeping on trees. There's also confirmation, or has been confirmation in some of the press articles lately. There is now, and we've seen this in the studios too, there is a full day and night simulation. So animals will behave differently on daytime and nighttime according to their very own behaviors, depending on how they act in real life. So nocturnal animals obviously will be more active during nighttime, but you can somehow force that with night houses, whilst other habitat animals will be less active at nighttime and will be more active at daytime and still have their times at rest, like midday, noon. Some animals will search for more rest if it's hot or so. Very interesting. But as you can see, some of the jumps have been massively improved. As you can see, there's a lot more physical accuracy in that. They have talked about this quite a lot, and I'm actually a bit disappointed they chose to go for that footage over here. I remember the tour we got when we were at the Frontier offices. I mean, it's always like coincidence. It's not meant to be like this, but when we were there, the chimpanzees were like total show-offs. They were jumping from A to B the whole time, and I just want to say, this footage over here is not even so impressive. This has been much more impressive, what we've seen at the offices. It's kind of crazy. They can even do like direct jumps, like they can do like double jumps or 3 jumps at once or whatnot. They do this kind of cool vocalization that is a new feature from the Animals 2.0. There are also a couple of this is one of the jump. I mean, oh, let's do that again. It's so good. Like, just like have a look how seamlessly, how flawlessly it just does that jump, and it's nowhere near how it used to be in the past. It's so good. It just has that, it feels like there is a weight to it. Let's have a look again. Dip, there you go. That was so super realistic that, like, I remember that whenever in Planet Zoo 1 animals jump, it almost looks like they jump and all of a sudden you enter bullet time and they just kind of slow-mo kind of zoom somewhere. But in here you've seen how accurate that is. And as I said, they can even do a double jump. Like, they jump and directly jump again. So this is what I've actually seen with my very own eyes. Chimpanzees do like a double jump, actually on these pillars over here. I think it was these pillars, I can't remember correctly, but I think they did like 1-2 jumps over these, and then went on to do brachiation right away. It's like that was, we sat there open mouth, and that's insane. This is also some of the footage we already knew. That is where they showed off the vocalization, and you just can hear a couple of new animation behaviors. It's not animation, it's like behaviors. They can see the brachiation in action. Yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible what they have pulled off here. And here you can see more of that. Again, there's another jump on top. You haven't seen that because just move that thing away. Can I also jump that? I can't put that out of the view for you guys. I would have loved to. But yeah, here you can see this. Look at how it just smoothly transitions into that. Like, it wasn't a glitch. It just jumped over it and just did that accurately enough. It's so good. Now we fly over. This is some of the backstage areas here where we've talked about. Now, actually, we do know by now that the staff areas and staff buildings will be fully customizable, and there is nothing set in stone. You can basically put it all in as you wish. Super good. I really love that. So this is again what they showed, like the size and verticality of the zoo is kind of ridiculous. This is our wonderful Sumatran tiger, and that is very interesting. Like, wait, hold on, let's go one little step back, because look at all the different ground textures. This is something I wanted to show. We haven't seen that in action so much, but look at the different type of ground textures everywhere. Like, so many different textures going on here. Some like rough sand, rough stone, kind of normal grass, tall grass, long grass, whatnot. And that was a very cool showcase. So you can see this tiger over here is obviously not doing good. This one has a severe lack of resources, and in specific, they do want to give them water. So what they do showcase is now that they will give this one, as you can see, it's super thirsty right now, so they will plop in water. I'll get forward to that. So here you can see they plopped in water in that little bazaar over here, and then it's kind of cool. The tiger immediately will come over and they will actually search for ways to get there. Also use the cover up quite a bit more often. And so here you can see it's now actually starting to drink. And I promise this is something way more important than you may think it is. I remember that a lot of people have said recently, oh, they promised so much in Planet Zoo 1 as well, but then at the end of the day, you couldn't really tell. And for the most part, I agree. Like herding and all the kind of capabilities you didn't see. But now, look at the movement of the tiger. Immediately you can see how it looks completely different in its movement. Here you can see it's a lot more like, it's more gentle and a lot more majestic at this point. And it's not as cramped anymore as it used to be before. Here you can see it's drinking a little bit, taking also a bit of sand. You have seen that little water splash coming from its mouth. And now the tiger is much more happy. As you can see, the whole body movement is a lot more confident now, a lot more happy, and you can really tell from the movement that this one is doing good. And just for the good feeling, it's doing another little stretchy stretch over here. Also, you can see the placement of the paws and stuff is a lot more accurate and a lot more nice than it was in Planet Zoo 1, where we had a lot of, like, not even glitches. Sometimes they were like a couple meters almost, I want to say, but half a meter off, and you can see them doing the animation like in mid of the air. That was a bit weird. So you can see here also there's a very nice showcase of the volumetric water that reacts to the animal actually walking in here. And what's also pretty cool is the following. They actually sit down in the water to cool off off. I mean, that is just such a little thing, but it's so good. It is so freaking good. I'm just really enjoying this a lot. They have seen that pump again, so it really seems like that these pumps need to be very close to the water actually to keep it clean, which I like, because that is how it is in real life too. You can't really put them miles off, because that would require quite a bit more of pipe work. So let's move on a little over here. As I said, they also briefly showcase the restaurants. We do know that they will have the same kind of restaurants as in Planet Zoo 1. Just gonna skip forward a little bit. This is the staff rooms, as we talked about. Again, some of the footage we have seen, all of the footage over here. I mean, we could do now a little bit of a nice search play if we find all the animals in here, because there's also like gazelle, which we can see. But we also do get the Zoopedia. I love that little toucan plushie over here on the desk, by the way. Where's that? Where was it? There you go. There's that little toucan plushie on the desk. I love that, with that giraffe mug over there. There's that toucan plushie. There's like a little turtle plushie over here. I will go through this whole footage again afterwards and see if I can find some secrets, if other people haven't already seen that. I just wanted to present that to you because I'm rather limited at time at the moment. We will be streaming Planet Coaster 2 today after the stream, after I have early access. So if you want to see that one, please join me tonight. That would be very cool. I would really love to see you guys over there, so you can see a couple of mechanisms already in action that we will have in Planet Zoo 2 as well. I love also the fledged out UI over here. It's looking really cool. ATMs are in the game. I know that a lot of people want them, but we've seen confirmation on that one too. This, by the way, is just to showcase. I also love the fact that they sneakily have done something over the menu. I have seen the menu, and now I can't really go through all the blueprints they showcase, because there are some sneaky hints in there, and I believe that jelly tank I saw as a blueprint, or I thought I saw, may actually be more real than I thought it is, but who knows? It's not officially confirmed, so let's wait for that. Sneaky that they did actually hide this. Here you can see another blueprint for a souvenir shop, but let's go further into something more interesting, and this is the Aviary. They do showcase how these things are being built, so you can see the build tool in action. Here you can see the build tool, how you can actively just reshape your whole aviary, and it just works. It works while the toucan is flying in the game. Here you can see there's one of the toucans just flying in the aviary, and you can not only change the size, and also, by the way, I like these not fully round, but like, what is that, like oval shaped kind of wobbly things. I love that. And you can now see that you can also decide the curvature of the different things. Also, they have hidden away the different styles. I have seen the styles as well. Nice that they did this sneakily. They did confirm also in some of the articles that there will be even glass. Tunnels are confirmed too, and some other stuff is also being confirmed in these articles. So tunnels not only for aviaries, but also for pools, if I understood that correctly, which makes sense if you want to build aviaries with animals that you potentially, or they wouldn't be confident to actually have guests next to them. A tunnel makes a lot more sense then. But you can see, as I said, you can do a lot of things. You can change the roof, and as it's meant to be roof, you can see you can use basically all kind of materials you want to. You can basically make like a concrete habitat and then put a mesh roof on top of it, which is also super cool that we get this freedom. And as I said, you can define the curvature. So if it's like a very hanging kind of, organic looking shape, like almost tent shape, or if you want to make that like super stiff, and I believe you can make also some really cool strict designs with this if you want to. Now we get a lot of cool in-game footage of the toucan actually flying. I know that this is people's favorite thing to see, because you can see how flawlessly they have realized flying. Yeah, I mean, if you've seen that just happening over here, I was blown away when I first saw that in game. This is obviously kind of nice collected footage over here. Look at the detail of that toucan. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm just like, oh, it's so good. I'm blown away by this. This is just mere amazing what they are doing here, and this footage, like all the footage, is ridiculously good, and I absolutely adore that they uploaded this for everyone. Really cool that you guys can see the same stuff, and obviously I was super hyped when I was watching it, so very cool for me to be able to watch it again and see how nice these animals land. And they've also said that they are still tweaking a lot. So for example, this is what they named specifically. Just going to show you again. There are still some icks here and there for where the claws grab the the perching point specifically. That said, you do not need perching points. They do perch on almost every single element in the game, but you can see this nicely over here. It's almost like a bit of tiptoeing. As you can see, they're not fully grabbing around. This is something they are still fixing, so that depending on the size of the claws, they will grab it correctly, but nevertheless it still looks really cool. Also, like these little hops when they just hop on the perching point to be ready to fly. They also confirmed that these animals will spend a lot of time flying as it is in real life, but they can also land on almost all branches and almost all trees in game. So not only on the main branches like it was in Planet Zoo 1 for the climbing, they do also make this for a lot of other areas. As you can tell, the flying looks super organic, super nice, better than I actually expected them to do this. Also miles better than Jurassic World Evolution 3, I may add at this point. It looks so much more organic, so much more fleshed out. You kind of can tell that this is, like the idea is that this whole area looks like a almost like inverted tank. You know, I think it's basically the same kind of system in place as you have in diving tanks as well. But yeah, as you can see, like it's just looking phenomenal over here. All right, a little interruption by my daughter. She was obsessed with the toucans. And, well, you just can't be obsessed with the toucans. Yeah, the flying and so on is realized in a incredible way. I mean, I miss the words here, to be honest, because as much as I've really hoped that all of that we are getting, but not only does the flying look freaking insane, also the way how everything comes together with like hopping and diving for the diving animals, and it is such a massive leap forward. It's beyond. But anyways, we move on. We can see a lot more of the toucan. Oh god, the toucan is just like my absolute favorite. This also, there's like a little bit of footage coming up right now. We have to look at that. There you go. Oh, this is just super good. Like how it's like this is also, okay, I have to speak about that. What mostly makes me so hyped is the fact that they seem to have nailed the pacing finally. One thing I always had as a feeling in Planet Zoo 1 and also in Jurassic World Evolution specifically, as much as it all looks great, there is something about the expectation you as a human have from real life, like how physics in real life work. There is a certain expectation how things happen and how things behave. And if you don't nail the pacing of that animation, it doesn't feel real. And this is what I meant about the jumping in Planet Zoo 1. In that moment where animals jump, the immersion is completely gone because you can then tell it's a game and it's, you know, and this is what they've done and achieved over here is looking so freaking good and so freaking accurate. The same about what we're looking at next, and this is we're just gonna go down in here. There's like a little souvenir shop in the underground. By the way, another little hint at jellyfish, just saying. But we are going to go over here, and this is another tank they show off here. I mean, like, again, speaking of pacing, speaking of movement, this is how I envision fish to swim. This is how fish swim, and it's nothing like what we've seen in Planet Zoo 1. Again, the animation have all been great, but remember all the diving, it was almost kind of the same. All animals kind of dive the same. Yes, speed was different, but like look at the fish here on the right hand side, how they move slower in a group than others, and how they just kind of swim relative to each other. It is so good. Then we have another look at our wonderful diver, the you know, cleaning the habitat. And again, the pacing, the swimming, the floating, everything seems to be accurate to physics, you know. And they have talked about that, how the water and stuff is volumetric. I'm not sure how the game calculates that, but like also this little, how they let themselves sink down a little by like angling their legs a little bit differently, and now they just push away from, look, I mean, oh god, that like little push from the side, it just looks so good how they position themselves accurately to the barrier, you know, to the glass window, and then they push themselves away, and it has this exact little weight to it, how to push themselves away. I'm very blown away by that. Look at this, like how, oh yeah, it's so good. Like push them in, and then they have magically this poover appearing. So yeah, but they also showcase obviously a couple more times the Hawksbill turtle over here, and also the ocean sunfish. Oh my god, this one, like, I'm not a big fan of this fish. I know a lot of people have this as a favorite fish, but the model looks outstanding. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. The model looks absolutely outstanding. There's a lot more footage we can see in here if you want to see that. Again, as I said, watch the full 4K upload once they have it. I mean, look at that, dude. That is so thumbnail worthy. I do guess there was also like a box that just, I don't know what they brought in here, but there was like a box opening. There you have also this Napoleon thing that we have in game as well. So a couple of hero fish in here. I think it seems like food. Seems like they delivered food over there, which comes out of these chests. And yeah, if we go forward, you can see this is what a better look at the Napoleon one. We haven't seen that one. I'm gonna take that one for the thumbnail because we haven't really seen that one too often. Also see the size differences. This almost looks like a little baby over here. Or maybe like a very small version of it, I don't know, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. As for the model, I'm not particularly saying that this animal looks gorgeous indeed. I don't think it does, but like, it looks really good as a model. I think there's not really that much more. They show off a little bit of the idling, which is again very cool to see how they do this. Yeah, I mean, oh god, it's so good. What's it called? The Napoleon Russ? I forgot how that was called in English. Switching all these names now. My German channel is a good idea, but it actually confuses me with all the names and stuff like that. So yeah, this is what that is. And that was all the footage for what we've seen over here. I'm just going to showcase that little light transition they do because that looks way too gorgeous to not show it. I mean, yeah, also very happy to see that all the weather types are confirmed again by the atmosphere, and we have the same slider as always. Man, how much do I wish to have that slider in Planet Coaster 2. Give it to me. Also, I wish they would click on the camera module over here so we knew if we have the cinematic camera as well. Would love to see that. But yeah, that's been it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this tour as much as I did. That was just a little short kind of walkthrough what they have shown. Again, there's no new animal, at least not in sight. Maybe you've seen that somewhere in the background or so. If so, let me know in the comments down below. But that was just a very nice showcase of how the game actually looks in-game. I mean, the gameplay trailer wasn't merely a gameplay trailer, was it? This is actual gameplay that we wanted to see, and it's looking as fantastic as the trailer did, even better so. The lighting is stellar, the movements are as good as you can imagine, and yeah, I'm just very hyped. But now it's about you guys. What do you think of this footage? Does it give you more confidence in the game, even more confidence than you already had? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, please consider doing so, because again, that helps me out the most and makes me get the opportunity to cover all of that for you. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna call it a day for today, and we see each other in the live stream if you want to join tonight, and if not, we see each other in the next video. Until then,